Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of VeChain. We've got some massive news to keep everyone well up to date with the fundamental side of VeChain as well as the technicals. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, tapping the bell, selecting all the notifications, and you will stay up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, linked in the description down below, check it out. It's completely free. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. And you know, it's the first place we go to notify you of the ins and the outs of everything that is happening in the crypto space. So keep a finger on the pulse of crypto by joining us down in Discord. And let's get into this then, right? Make a start. Let's go and take a look at this, right? So let's start off with the fundamental news here. VeChain joins forces with a billion-dollar company to build a scalable metaverse, right? Now, this is something that's not overly new. This is something that we kind of like have known about on the channel for quite some time. Probably heard about this back in 2021. For those who are familiar with the channel, we're quite friendly with VeChain. We really like what they do. We often kind of, meet up and kind of discuss, where they're kind of heading and all that kind of stuff. We've had them on the channel as well. Dimitri from VeChain on the channel, and kind of get an overview of Toolchain and stuff like that. So we've kind of known about this for a while, so it's not overly new, but it is interesting news nonetheless with some of the other things that are happening in the background here. So to kind of summarize, VeChain network anticipates exponential growth in the future with the development of Digital Village for retail purposes. The $4 million fund is expected to be channeled into building advanced avatar customization and virtual store creation to enable brands and creators to deliver immersive virtual experiences, right? So obviously we've kind of partnered up with Cornucopias. We did the Cheeky Racer suit over there. So this is kind of our bread and butter, the kind of things that we really like to kind of be getting into in terms of what we're delivering within our Cheekyverse project, right? And, that's kind of how we kind of first actually heard around about of Digital Village. So the progression here being made with Digital Village, I think, is really, really cool. So if you're not overly familiar, you can do more research on that. But let me just kind of get through this so you can kind of understand a little bit more about what's going on in the background. So the VeChain ecosystem has received huge fundamental boost from several companies, including L'Oreal, Venture Capital's fund, Bold, and British Fashion Council, that has come together to develop a metaverse ecosystem. Notably, Bold, a venture reality fund, Venrex, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and the British Fashion Council, among others, have raised $4 million in funding round for a French metaverse developer dubbed Digital Village, right? And you can go and check this out. It's already out there. You can kind of get a good understanding as to kind of what they're doing. So yeah, I think there's definitely some really cool, interesting things going on here. So L'Oreal and the BFC invested $4 million in French metaverse developer Digital Village. DV is building a scalable, sustainable, and collectively prosperous metaverse with VeChain. So really, really cool stuff, right? And it's well worth kind of getting into this in a little bit more detail. Now, in terms of the price action of VeChain, we have seen some pretty significant changes recently. Let me actually see if I can just pull this over here so you can kind of see. This is our daily time frame, I believe. Yeah, daily time frame. And we are tracking some interesting kind of structures. Now, there's no guarantee that it plays out exactly as shown here with this kind of 5-wave move. It's very early stages. And let me actually get rid of this and make this a little bit bigger here so you can kind of see, right? That it's real early stages here, but it is something that I think is definitely got a lot of potential to it. So kind of keep an eye on it, see how it kind of goes with the development of this. If we do go up into 5 waves, our minimum expectation would be that we come down in 3 more, and then we would go up in 5 afterwards. Okay, so minimum expectation would be this zigzag pattern, A, B, and C, like that. Okay, so that would be my minimum expectation. But if everything goes really, really well for VeChain, then of course we would potentially see something slightly different. We'd still have the 3-wave structure to the downside, but if I just estimated that we'd move to about 2.2 on VeChain, then we would be looking at around the 88.2% retracement, or at least a maximum of 88.2. I say maximum, the maximum would be 100, but typically we come down towards maybe 1.6, just down here at this low, and then we could see a potential rally to the upside, right, which would be potentially higher and going in around the 1.236 from around this low of 1.6 here. So we would see it right up here about 2.75. Now, it might not sound like a lot, but the structure of this would be really interesting. It would go 1, 2, up here into 3, down for 4, and up to 5, all of which would then be able to kind of wrap it up in, again, a very similar pattern. You'd either think of this as an entire A wave with a B and a C, or we would then kind of nest this down even further, coming scrolling out, and have another kind of wave 2 coming down, and then having a really good kind of bullish kind of run to the upside. So lots of really cool things on the potentially on the horizon when it comes to the price action of VeChain, but also the fundamental side, right? VeChain are developing a lot of different things, and there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in the background when it comes to VeChain, right? So obviously starting their life off as kind of just supply chain, but they've really kind of expanded out quite nicely with VUSD. That kind of opens us up into a world of potential DeFi and things like that could potentially go onto the VeChain ecosystem. Now, for those who are not overly familiar when it comes to the VeChain ecosystem, it is written in Solidity, so it doesn't actually take terribly too much more work to actually transition from something like Ethereum over to VeChain. Now, the main difference, and probably the biggest selling point when it comes to VeChain, has to be that Ethereum is uncontrollable costs, right? One day it might cost you $6 to do a transaction. The next day it could be $200, right? It's unpredictable, and that's not really good for businesses. So what VeChain have done is they've got a dual token system and using V4 to be your controllable metric when it comes to paying for fees. Now, V4 can fluctuate. It's still a volatile asset. So in the actual ecosystem of VeChain, you have the ability, though, the holders of VER can vote and essentially create a different payment structure for V4 as a gas fee. So sometimes the gas fee paid in V4 might drop down lower, it might go up a little bit higher, but what it allows you to do is it allows you to kind of keep the controllable costs. So if V4 goes up, then the gas fee is reduced to keep those fees controllable. This is really key for business development growth on the ecosystem, because you can't have uncontrollable costs if you're trying to run a sustainable business. You need to have those costs predictable. So this is a real big thing for VeChain. So as they kind of usher in other areas of the business, whether that is going to be, metaverse and digital collectibles with NFTs, which is also a thriving ecosystem in itself on VeChain, we're going to be potentially coming in here with not only DeFi, but, basically brands looking to launch NFT-based metaverse clothing on Digital Village. I think this is absolutely massive news for VeChain. It's nothing overly new, but this may have gone under the radar with you guys. You may have been aware of it. You may not have been aware of it. So I thought it was important that you do actually kind of get kept up to date with the ins and the outs of the fundamentals as well as the technicals. So I am going to leave this video there. It's just a brief one, just to kind of explain what's going on when it comes to how VeChain is being used as a metaverse, and Digital Village has raised $4 million to kind of help expand its marketplace for avatar customizable clothing ranges and NFTs coming onto the VeChain ecosystem. I do think this is pretty big news. So if you have skipped past it, and then I think it's probably worth actually, having a deeper read into what is going on there when it comes to VeChain. I'm expecting much, much bigger things when it comes to the VeChain ecosystem as time progresses. So why not check out some of the fundamental stuff that we've spoken about on this channel by checking out the channel page as well. Guys, if you found it useful, smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. Don't forget to join us in Discord. And guys, until the next one, have a fantastic day.